today. They're on point.
What just happened?
The Negan joke, for better or worse.
Oh, that was cute. That was cute.
That's your new shirt. That's your new shirt.
I liked my little, who was getting a lot of Sexton.
That was...
We had some puns going today.
I've had a lot of Sexton.
Welcome everyone to Walking After Whiskey. I'm Shorty.
And I'm Travis. We're going to break down your latest episode of The Walking Dead tonight.
We're also going to break down some special edition top shelf whiskey.
Walking Dead whiskey, believe it or not.
By Sexton.
We're also going to break down season
How many
11,
things are you going to break down tonight?
episode 15 and 16, entitled
Oh, gosh.
Trust.
Trust and Acts of God.
Acts of God.
Come on. What were they called again?
Hand of God, pow!
Gotcha. So we're actually closing this season out.
Yep, so in the season 11 for us. We're the 2/3 of the way. We still have a whole third left, which means 8 more episodes to watch, which is pretty badass. Or it could be more, it could be 10. Who knows how they're gonna break it down? But we do know they're actually done filming forever. So they've already had their tears, so we know they're done filming it.
Yeah, there's been tear shots by Daryl and
Greg Durapont.
Nicotero.
I know that's it. Nicotero.
Thank you.
Dan Nicotero.
Oh gosh.
But either way, we do know that they're done filming. So how many episodes to break down to? We don't know. We don't know if Michonne will come back, Rick will come back, but we're all very eager to see what happens.
And I'll say it again, they still got a lot of loose ends to tie up before all of these spin-offs happen. So.
Right? We have the Carol and Daryl.
Carol and Daryl, there's a Negan spin-off, and I think there's Rick still that hasn't happened yet.
Movies, three movies.
Yeah, who knows?
The Negan and Maggie sex tape that's coming out.
Oh, would you just stop it? Oh my gosh.
For better or worse?
You're ridiculous.
Negan and Maggie for better or for worse.
You're dumb.
Hey.
I like Sexton.
Cheers.
You're dumb. What the hell just happened? Are you okay?
Let's start this off, please. As I joke.
Oh wait, are you sure?
I'm good.
All right, so we open with my favorite person, Princess, who is banging Mercer now.
They both had a lot of sex. They both had a lot of
Yeah,
sex.
they both had a lot of sex.
With other people.
Not that matters, but they've had a lot.
Very adult of them to come to that agreement. But Princess lets Mercer know that she's not just here for a booty call. She's also here to hear about the good things. She's a good listener. Not just she's not the crazy young fun kid she always portrays herself to be. She also wants to be a very serious person in Mercer's life, which is awesome because she's showing him she can grow and wants to grow, and there's a lot more to her than he knows. And she said, I want to help listen to more of you. Obviously, you have a lot of troubles on your head. I'd love to digest them with you.
Well, there's definitely been several times where Princess, she's very intuitive. There's been episodes where she's, like the one where where she's kind of over listening. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Overhearing the two guards talk, and she picks up on their names and they're gay and all these things. So so she's very intuitive. But I love them as a couple. I've always liked Mercer's character anyway. I love Princess, so. And I was happy with the opening scene. They're getting it on. They
absolutely complement each other, and Mercer obviously he thinks that she looks amazing. Remember the time at the dance? What was that with me? I hate these things.
Adorable.
So he obviously that they definitely pair very well, and I think that their Princess become a very very good fan favorite. Shorty likes her very much. She's also a big favorite in the comic books as well. It's a short time that she was there, but
well, she's crazy, so you gotta love crazy. You gotta love crazy. Anyways. All right, so let's cut to, after Rosita and Daryl get back from that mission that they were sent on to basically rob what's douchebag's father's money.
Oh, God, right.
So anyway, Rosita tells Eugene, and then Eugene starts to, plot this whole thing to, try to expose everything that's going on. So he brings in Connie and Kelly. Mm-hmm. Ezekiel gets involved.
Yes.
And Max.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little group of writers that are basically going to expose what's been going on in Commonwealth.
Yeah, very much like the old PBS show Ghost Writers. They're all coming together to basically have the ghosts of horrible towns past, and they're going to air it out because obviously everything's going good for themselves. You might as well just ruin everything for everybody else and let's just bring this all to shit like we've done everything else. Like Woodbury and what we've been to, let's just bring this all to shit and ruin everything we got going on for us here. Basically, what's happening here? We're just contest the powers.
Well, it's society, so it's just all going to go bad. Let's see. Then we have the storyline with Commonwealth led by Lance, and even bigger douchebag Lance,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of still looking for these weapons that we know that Leah's taken. So they invade Hilltop looking for the weapons. There's a whole scene with the truck. It's very suspenseful. Is the truck going to start?
Right.
And during that time, obviously all the stormtroopers are looking for all these weapons. They don't find anything. And Lance happens upon Glenn Jr. And, I don't know how he puts two and two together that hat must be
Right.
his. I thought that was weird. I was like, okay, this is a little bit of a stretch.
Oh.
But anyways, obviously,
Well, he would have met him the first time when he went to Hilltop. When Maggie let him in to look at everything the first time.
would you remember somebody's hat? I don't know.
There was only 4 people there. The kid has a hat on. I mean, they give
No,
you.
it's only 4 actors there.
Yeah,
There's more
so far.
people there.
I don't know. Is there? Like, who else have we seen? There's no one else there. I think it's just
Well,
them.
Maggie keeps referring to people. I don't know. Maybe it's all the dead people that are buried.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And well, Glenn's buried there, so obviously she has such a huge tie to this place, which is a nothing place. It's been burned down multiple times. It keeps getting burned down.
That's nothing.
Bricks won't burn. We get it, but it's like, besides Glenn being buried there, what else would she care about this place? There's no other reason to hold on to it. There's no forged metal there anymore. Nothing grows
Well,
there.
they have no other home though, really. So
They could go to
there's
Alexandria for those. There's like one house. It's all 4 of them in one place.
Oh my god.
And Maggie live in Negan, so that's already one place I could stay.
All right, so in looking at my notes real quick, so there's a lot of little side stories going on here. So, Carol's got her side gig going on. Like she kind of, sort of, she does talk to Ezekiel about it a little bit. Turns out Ezekiel has got his own side going on. How we find out about that? I mean, he actually wants to tell Carol prior, but she's too busy.
Carol Head.
So then he gets the surgeon involved, Yumiko's brother involved, to try to steal some supplies. Of course, they get caught, and then come to find out that Carol's the one to get them out, which I thought was weird too. They haven't really explained that her insider scoop. I mean, I get it that she's has the trust of Lance, but that was still a little weird. So hasn't really been explained yet what kind of capacity that she has, I guess, in Commonwealth, but. Obviously, she can get the keys and let random prisoners out. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I guess you people look the other way. We also see that, you see his brother, and when he sees this little makeshift, helping people out, very, very Doctors Beyond Borders, he's very excited about it, which is kind of when we think about, he always said he always said that he was a doctor to the Commonwealth, and so I wonder if he already got there and just held his cards close to his chest, even though he went through the same interrogation as everybody else, they would have found out he was not a baker. But to now be so excited to treat anymore. He must have hated he must have hated the system, how they preface people over the other people because of stature, not because of need. And so when he got there, people when people were pregnant, people had appendix problems, things that would get treated very easily at a hospital are not treated in the Commonwealth. So it probably made him very sour to the whole thing. He's very excited to help these people out because it's kind of more what he wants to do. He wants to help people, but not be told who to help and who he can't help. It's kind of hard for a doctor to I would imagine to choose people by money, especially when I get paid anything.
Well, yeah, it's called being ethical, but okay, whatever.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so getting ready to wrap this episode up then. So going back to Lance real quick, he does try to pressure Glenn Jr. into telling him what's his bucket? Oh gosh, I can't remember any names in this episode at all. The guy that happens upon Lance kind of talking to Glenn, throws him up against the wall, starts the whole thing with Maggie gets there, and Daryl gets there.
Or was it Ethan? Was it one of the people that were there? Whoever it was.
Anyways.
That nice man.
He's the one that didn't get killed in the next episode after. Anyways. So that kind of just solidifies in Lance's head that Maggie's got to go. He's already irritated with her anyway, but now, he's really got to go. So. There was also, there's a lot that happened in this episode.
It almost seemed to me he had those guns set out to the Commonwealth so he can actually kill these places anyways. When the guns were gone, that wasn't an option because bullets are counted there, right? So when he got those guns out of there, they were kind of off the books. He had his diplomacy, so he tried to talk Maggie out of these places, and when they basically they weren't going to be talked out of their place or Seaside or anyone else. And he was like, okay, well I was going to kill you guys anyways, but now once he found what's her bucket? Gerald's blonde girlfriend.
Leah.
The Terminator, T2000. Like he like, oh, I got a job for you. Like this is easy. Like let's just kill people
Right.
for me. We'll be all good. So I think his plan was always to kill them anyways, because like literally, why keep
Oh,
them on?
absolutely. Like, you get that. I mean, like the other people didn't do any harm. They never found the guns, and yet they were going to kill them all anyway.
Yeah.
So,
What's
Negan's
that?
old clan.
Seaside's like, well, if Maggie's not going with you guys around either, it's like, oh, you guys are all gonna
It's
die.
all
You guys are all gonna
close.
die. So there was a plan the whole time. When the guns were gone, that wasn't an option. Now the guns are back, and he has an assassin for hire. He's like, oh, well, killing you is back on the table again.
Yes. So yeah, that was a lot in that episode.
So
In a nutshell.
on to Act of God.
Acts of God.
Acts of God. The voiceover. Who was the voice in the beginning?
The what?
It's the whole because of an act of God. It actually says that in the beginning of the show. Like, you hear like an overtone,
Oh, I don't.
like a narrator say it. Like, oh, the voice
I
of
literally
that.
just watched it and I don't remember.
Sorry.
I have issues. All right, so season 11, episode 16, Acts of God. There's a lot, obviously a lot of biblical references. So there's locusts that constantly are flying by, like to where everyone stops and has to.
Which is a biblical act of God.
Yeah, like the only thing probably more is if like frogs would have fallen out of the sky, right?
Yeah.
So something, I don't know, or if there was water, like it parted. I don't know. Anyways, there's a lot. So there's a lot of references to that. I was also thinking like, end of time. So the whole apocalypse kind of thing is appropriate. So Lance officially offers Leah this job to take out Maggie. Super dramatic. Oh my God, I want her head. I need proof. I want her head. And Leah is all on board anyway because she wants to kill Maggie too.
Yep.
So, okay, no, sure, no problem.
Win-win.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. With that, Maggie knows shit's going to hit the fan. She knows that, number one, Lance hates her. She knows that Leah has actually been after her. So she wants to hide some of her key people. She for sure wants to hide Glenn Jr. So they leave Hilltop and take them to who?
Yep.
So they actually Lydia. So Lydia knows where everyone is. So they
Yeah, it was a walker hole, right? It was a walker hole, or a whisperer hole, is what they mentioned.
Is that what it was? Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
well,
nice.
she named it was a whisper hole down there. So like a big, hopefully the whisper's down there anymore. I don't know if Carol like blew part of this hole up, but it was definitely a little place where they used to hide.
Well, maybe she just made more room for them when she made it explode.
And how, so you have to think about like a flea circus, how do you keep these zombies up and down ladders? Like, I mean, so you put these zombies in a hole, okay, how do you get them out of the hole? Like literally, like what is going on here with these stash spots for these zombies? Like
That's the elevator that the Commonwealth built, apparently.
They must have little like like, oh, let's go through the rings, like a whole little flea circus of all these zombie places. But
Maybe they had a zombie net.
yeah,
They just fished them out.
got a little rope and
They go zombie fishing.
We've seen The Well, remember in season 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't work out well when
They
they're
did-
bloated.
Well,
Poor
I didn't say
Glenn.
to fill it with water. I just said pluck them out of there. We didn't talk about Gabriel, Daryl, and Aaron that much, but they're very intricate parts of actually both episodes. So Daryl, the three of them know that they have to figure out how to turn it around onto these Commonwealth stormtroopers. So kind of bide their time a little bit. And I don't know how they just don't take Daryl. Daryl's been like shady like for the last 6 months. Like it's just crazy how like even some of his answers just aren't great. Like he has to be like the most untrustable person at this point.
Yeah, but I think Mercer puts a lot more stock in him. So I don't know if there's any kind of like leadership inside of the ranks where he's at now. But I think he's definitely. I think he has Mercer has his back, so I think he's more than just a regular trooper. I think he might have a little bit more pull.
That makes sense.
Especially he gets to pull out of things, people look up to him. He's always like in the lead these places. He's always walking in front. So I do think that Daryl has a little bit, some sway. I don't think lieutenant or captain or anything or whatever. He runs his own gang, but definitely Mercer's like, I like you. I know what you're doing. I want you to go far. So where you go, we see him. He's in the front. He's like, I'll lead this. I'll lead that.
Mercer trusts him for sure. So with this, so they finally get their time. They're like in a weird abandoned car lot or something.
Yeah, but they walk him there on purpose. Like there's one more place to go check, and like you could at this point, Daryl and Gabe and Aaron are like, okay, we know what this means. This is where we're going to be killed. So they've been knowing this whole time as they've been searching through these places, clearing them. It's all been biding time. It's all been about biding time to basically kill these guys off, which they could have done any single time they wanted to. They've been behind the whole time with these guns. You think they just would have started shooting them and they would have killed them and been no thing, but they're trying to do some weird, like, bury it, okay, it never happened type of deal, which it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's kind of the MO. I mean, all the Commonwealth, they send you to do something and then you never come back and nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows. Just bury it.
Until the writers.
So the symbolism is awesome. As they walk in, you see there's the camera zooms in on a spider in a web, and they walk into like this basically web of cars. So it's like, oh, let's see what's going on here. Let's see for a trap. And you see symbolism as the bullets start going. Daryl makes the first shot. He sees the wall kind of peanut from the sides. He knows what's going to happen. Daryl looks at his guys, Gabriel and Aaron, like, hey, this is our stand. This is our last stand. So basically, just shoots one guy immediately on the shoulder. Bam, okay, let's go. And so it's a lot of just bullets flying. You see Aaron and Gabe get shot pretty quickly, but just, one in the hand, one in the arm, but just enough to let you know this is real stuff. Like a lot of times, a lot of shootouts happen and no one gets hit. It's like a whole like GI Joe thing just flying over their head. But no, they
stormtroopers, a bunch of stormtroopers firing at each other.
You can't fire in goggles and a mask. Like, we just take the stuff off. It's only gonna get things done.
Take the stuff off. Nice. So they are victorious, obviously, and then Lance is like calling whatever on the walkie, and Daryl so eloquently, it's like they're not here no more or something. I don't know what.
Yeah, they're not here. They're not here no more.
Yeah, so eloquent, that one. All right, so let's cut to what's going back on Hilltop. So Maggie lays a trap for whomever's coming to get her at this point, I guess, whether it be Commonwealth or Leah. But I'm not quite sure. She doesn't know at that point that Leah's tracking her yet. So basically laying a trap then for Commonwealth. So to your point earlier about her finally realizing that it doesn't matter, like Hilltop doesn't matter anymore. Right. So she just basically lets the main mansion be blown up as part of a trap. So that was good. We see the end of hopefully Hilltop at some point.
We also see like a weird conversation between Maggie and Negan and Negan's wife, where basically Maggie wants Negan's wife to watch Herschel, and Negan's all, come with you, Maggie, have your back. And he goes, Negan, I don't trust you, but I'm starting to. I need you all here to do this myself. And Negan's like, no, I'll do this together. But I think
they all but pinky sweared. They all but pinky sweared that Negan was going to watch Glenn Jr.
Negan's the best babysitter ever. I mean, look at Judith when they did spaghetti together, and Negan goes down shaving his face. Yeah. He's an amazing babysitter. You can trust him with your kids.
Nothing else, but you can trust him with your kids.
Absolutely.
All right, so once Hilltop kind of explodes a little bit, that's when Maggie realizes it's Leah, and that is a fun little battle that ensues after that. So from that explosion, that's when they actually go have the conversation with Negan. Negan, come be my babysitter. We'll pay you, $7.50 an hour, or however that conversation went. So Maggie's in the woods by herself, and Leah's a tracker. Like, Leah's a badass. So it seems like it should have been a lot easier for Leah at this point, but she does end up catching Maggie. I don't know, as Maggie's sitting 2 feet away from her, strapped in a chair, how she doesn't realize that she's wiggling all around to get out of her bondage, but ridiculous.
I want it to be like the Hot Shots Part 2, Fight with the Two Girls, like they keep on ripping their clothes off on accident. Oh, my mid-waist. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, my shirt goes off. I was like, come on, there's the two hot chicks fighting in the room. Like, where's the Jello? Where's the pool? I don't get it. And Daryl sitting there with a cigar, like, collect the money. People are making their bets.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious.
So it was a good fight. It was a good fight, though. But my first thought was, okay, like, Leah should just, which she ends up kind of wailing on her. So that part was good.
What if they would have kissed? That'd have been the best.
Oh my God.
It's against the wall. It's like, I heard it. Oh, it's not. She just hit her in the gut. Okay, whatever.
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Leah was looking super awesome out though. You got hair all coming out, super T3000 ready to go. Maggie just told her like, oh my gosh, trust you, Negan. Like, totally just down. She should have won that fight. Leah definitely should have won that fight. She was way more.
Easily won that fight. Granted, Maggie's the baddest, but no, Leah should have easily won that fight. But anyway, so she ends up getting the upper hand, though. I mean, she is like literally on her beating the shit out of her. So
she was. Well, mollywhopping, what we call that.
Right.
Just call it a mollywhop at that point.
And lo and behold, who saves the day? Daryl has to shoot his ex.
Which is pretty much everybody's dream, but it was sad because I think if Connie wasn't there, Daryl would have tried harder to save her because that would have been like his only booty in Apocalypse. But since Connie's now there, he's like, okay, I gotta bring this whole triangle up with her and Carol thing. Let's just go for the stick.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of thought in there.
Yeah. Not so much. Anyways. All right. So he actually takes out Leah. sadness ensues. Actually, not really. I still don't know where Dog is, by the way. Where is Dog? We
He's at
haven't
home.
seen Dog in like.
He was 2 episodes ago eating out of the container
I
at their
don't
old
know.
house.
I'm just saying.
He was there. Good thing Dog wasn't there. What would have happened? He could have went either way.
Yes.
He could have went either way.
Yeah. And that's pretty much, now we have a long time to wait, probably October.
On Halloween.
Yeah. And who knows how many episodes that's going to be.
We have Fear the Walking Dead to kind of bide our time, which is great. We've actually seen, now let's get to the end of The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, I don't think will go on past Walking Dead. I think what's going to end up happening is they'll probably end up meshing these two shows in the last 8 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead will probably go into the last 8 of The Walking Dead to kind of close them both out. And we'll just have the expansion seasons, which will be the Glenn, sorry, he's dead. The Maggie and
Yes,
the Maggie and Negan show and the Carol and Daryl show.
I mean, that would be interesting if Fear the Walking Dead,
That's our
if
show.
Fear the Walking Dead, like if they do integrate that, like is that like one big thing to take down Commonwealth? Like
It could be.
that would be an interesting.
So the whiskey that we're doing today, one of Shorty's own, one of her favorites, Sexton whiskey, actually is a Walking Dead limited edition bottle that they served up.
So if you all have been following, the two of you that have been following, so actually Sexton came on as a sponsor for The Walking Dead last season. They continued on, and they made this really, really cool Walking Dead limited edition bottle. So the whiskey is the same, but the bottle is very, very cool. I will be keeping this bottle.
Various sayings from all the people on here. There's some from Michonne and Rick on here, which is cool. It says that it's human nature to come together from Rick Grimes, and life is always a test, which is from Herschel. So yeah, very, very cool stuff on here, man. I like it.
They changed their typical logo, which was the Sexton. Actually, he's a zombie.
The zombie, which is really cool. It's Irish whiskey. Tastes just like a very good Irish whiskey. Which, I mean, if you like Irish whiskey, you'll like this a lot. Very much like Johnny Walker's, things like that. I like it a lot. Doesn't taste different from the regular bottle. It's 40%. Not hot at all. It tastes great as a shooter.
It's got a little heat at the end, but I normally don't like heat at the end of a whiskey. But I enjoy this so much. Like
Sure.
if I ever had to just go to a bar and order whiskey, it would be this every single time. I really enjoy this whiskey.
Irish single malt. One thing I ask you to do is, do you taste a little spice to it? I taste a little spice for some reason.
It's got a little bit. I think it's got some sweetness to it as well. That's probably why I personally like it. So a little bit of spice, definitely some sweetness to it. A little bit of heat at the end, but it's not gonna make you choke to death like I normally do if I have something from you.
We don't read the tasting notes on this one, but definitely just a little spice in it, which is kind of, I don't taste it from the one we used to drink, the regular one. So maybe a tiny different blend, but not too far off of their norm. Like it could just be the bottle, but maybe just because I'm putting too much on it. But it does taste a little spicy to me for some reason, which is a good thing.
I like it.
There's some bones in the bottle of whiskey. Aye.
What just happened? I don't know.
Good review.
But yes, good
Whiskey.
review. Go out, buy some Sexton.
Or get some Sexton.
We'll see you guys. Well, Mercer and
both
Mercer and Princess got their Sexton on.
They both had a lot of Sexton. They both had a lot of Sexton. That's awesome. They just put that in their little Mad Lib, or like the dubbing of like an old TV show. We both had a lot of Sexton. Come on, we both had a lot of Sexton.
A lot of Sexton.
Aye.
More Sexton than you need to know. Cheers. Just cheers.
Cheers.
We rambled on about nothing for a hot minute. This is all
new.
This is all probably getting cut.
Nope. Bye, guys. See you next season.
Thank you. See you
For
next
Beer the
season.
Walking Dead, a local brewery near you, California. We're coming up. We're coming to local breweries for Beer the Walking Dead. We'll do a couple episodes at a time, hopefully, and just showing you cool beers from around California. We like to do when we can, and we're gonna try to do this summer. Now that we're both can drive. We can both drive. Out of the normal limits
I
of
don't
our
even know what you said, but I know it was bad.
of our ankle bracelets, we can definitely within 15 miles.
Gotcha.
Your breweries are on our list.
I don't know. Those are, you can stick those out.
Thanks,
Mochi's
guys.
gonna be wearing mine. Anyways, see you guys. Thanks
Bye,
so
guys.
much. You know who actually had a lot of Sexton was
Daryl.
no, like lately has been Eugene of all people.
Jesus,
Like,
right?
like fake Stephanie and now Max.
In the apocalypse, nerds
Yeah.
will take over.
And he's not remotely attractive.
Stephanie is super hot.
Max,
I would not.
new Stephanie.
I would not like to ask
Oh no.
her brother for her hand. I definitely would like to keep that on the under for a very long time. If you remember time you were hitting a sister, it would not be a very fun thing. I don't think to have that guy anywhere near
No.
you around you,
Oh no.
knowing that you were tagging a sister like all the time,
Getting a lot of Sexton.
drinking a lot of Sexton in his room.